I feel like that's pretty solid. All
No.
right,
You
we're
know what?
streaming.
Yeah, that's on time.
Yeah.
I am exhausted today, guys. So I did not have a chance to cut some highlights. So I'm gonna steal some from YouTube real quick, and I'll probably
I
just
Attaboy.
love
upload
that you say that
those.
after we go live.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm look. I told people if they tune into 1868 Weekly early, they get a little bit of behind the scenes.
A little bit of making that sausage.
Sure, yeah, I'm not too I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm a busy dude. I'm tired. I'm sore, and I did not have time to edit this morning.
Ew.
Matt, tell me if it shows up that we're
We
live for you,
are
okay?
underway here at
I haven't seen it yet, but let me
I get the
check.
notifications, but I don't actually get them.
Oh my
I hate
god, do
YouTube.
I?
Oh, yeah, there's a notification. There we go. But it's still not showing up on my browser. Maybe it's because I have roughly 1 million tabs up. I don't know.
Roughly,
Roughly.
I feel
Like-
I can't close any tabs during the podcast because I'm afraid that I will end the podcast.
Yeah. But there's all me tabs. There's far too many. And there's Rocket League. I updated it.
Good
Thanks
man. Good
thanks
man.
for your warning. Because it was a
Got
big
you.
one.
Because yeah, I looked at it too. I'm like, okay, I want to. So I'm really tired, and Evelyn and I are gonna actually go out for dinner tonight. So I want to. We're gonna play just a couple matches, and then I gotta run. But I wanted to make sure we got into it quick. Yeah, I don't. Evelyn brought home all this like food from Costco, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want any of that. I'm like, let's go out.
I got it.
Aha. There he is.
All right, how can I make a YouTube video full screen, like a full window, but not full screen? Is that a thing?
Hmm.
Because every time I try to make full screen, it takes up my entire monitor. I need it to just take up.
Maybe hit F11 and then hit theater mode.
All right, I'm on a Mac, so I don't know that helps me much.
Maybe not.
All right, it's okay. I have a backup. I'm just not sure how well it's going to look. Excuse me. It's like super hot in here. I'm like dying. I don't know.
Looks like you have you're right next to a south-facing wall. I'm sure you're getting a lot more sun than you used to.
Yay, sunlight.
Yeah, that's probably just a light, actually.
That's a thing.
Oh,
we
is it?
have
Oh, okay.
Very bright light. Yeah, I relocated that light I have.
Twitter.
All right, let's unlock that. Gotta shrink.
Shrink a dink.
No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. There we are. Alrighty. Yes, all of you who are watching right now, look at my editing and my stealing of these highlights, which are hella choppy. But hey, it's nice taking a break from watching us. All right, there we are. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Except it's very
It's a little chip choppy.
That's all right. I mean, we can't I don't think we can avoid that because last week those highlights that I took all this time to cut and make sure the resolution was awesome were also a little choppy. Yeah, but that's okay. All right, let us get started. I think this is what, episode 64?
And we always do this
Not always. Just most of the time.
most of the time. Yep, 64.
Oh, yeah. See? I know what I'm talking about. All right, let me go back to Skype. All right, Matt, background's looking solid. All right, let's get this going. What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 64 of 1868 Weekly. We come to you as humble victors for the first time in Reno 1868 FC history. You're listening or watching to 1868 Weekly. I am your host, John Macaluso, today joined by Matthew Rafferty. Matt, how the heck are you, man?
Hello, I am good.
Good.
Can't complain, man. We got to win.
Yeah, right. I'm still very happy about that. Brad Polonsky sitting there rolling with the awesome scarf while he has a new addition. We'll talk about that momentarily. Brad, how are you today?
I'm not humble. We beat an MLS 2 team. Woo! As an MLS kind of 2 team. Woo!
Not humble Brad Polonsky, everybody. All right, so we already have a few viewers who are commenting. We just barely started the show. So let's say hey to some of these viewers. We've got Harry Austin, our resident, our favorite resident San Antonio FC fan. Hello, Harry. It's good having you back. We've also got Carrie Gleedle. Hi, Carrie. There a little bit of a pause there, a little awkward. Also, Mr. Andrew Marins. How you doing, Andrew? What's up, all you guys? Thanks for joining us so early today. Good to have you guys on this actually pretty beautiful Tuesday here in the biggest little city. A whole lot of sky when I look outside. Not too cool and not too warm. I like the weather today, guys. What do you think?
It's been pretty good. I've been into it.
And I bring that up now because it will be a little less pleasant come a Saturday. We're expecting a storm, I believe, and temperatures are going to drop a little bit. But we're not worried about that. We can handle these cold temperatures. We've seen it before with our Reno 1868 FC squad. All right, so let's talk about what's on the docket. We're going to talk a little bit about the new addition to Brad's Wall. And part of me wants to throw Brad under the bus for this new edition, which is why I brought it up. We're obviously going to talk about the match that happened last Friday. Kind of a weird day. I thought that the turnout at the watch party was pretty solid, though. So we'll talk a minute about that. We're going to talk about the team's performance. I think that'll be an interesting conversation amongst we three, and hopefully you guys are going to join that as well. And then I think we'll probably talk about the upcoming match, right? I mean, against Oklahoma City. Should be a good one. Obviously our home opener. We're all very excited about that. I'm ready to get sick, as is tradition. Hopefully it's not coronavirus sick. Cross your fingers for me. I'm just kidding. That's poor humor. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. First, I want to throw it to Brad. I want to talk a little bit about your new scarf. You're gonna have to. You know what? We also have a where in Northern Nevada is Matt Rafferty. So we're going to go ahead and have Matt guess, since I already guessed and lost, which new scarf is part of Brad's Wall.
Which new scarf?
So just a little bit of a cheat, because this was my guess and it was incorrect, but it should help you out a little bit, Matt. I guessed that blue San Jose Earthquakes scarf with the skyline. I like that scarf a lot. It looks really solid. But that is not a new scarf. What we got?
I do appreciate that because that's what I was going to guess. No, that's got too many signatures on it. Hold on. Let me see which one I'm wearing. Let's see how it compares to that one. Is it the one right above the home scarf?
The 2020 founding member scarf?
Aha. Yeah, that one.
Nope.
Dang.
It is this one.
What the
The
heck?
North
is that?
Carolina
I was wondering if it was going to be
What the
that one,
heck
but
is
I was
that?
like, no way.
That one
That one's
used to
been
be
there, and I
the
just ignore
Polish
it.
national team. Now it is my home state, the state I was born in. The team I followed when I was a kid, although rebranded to North Carolina FC. That is that scarf. You can hate me all you want for it, but I have always said that I support one team from the East and one team from the West. And if you don't like it, well, I don't care.
Well, I appreciate your conviction. I still think it's wrong, but I can commend it at least.
They'll never play each other. North Carolina will never make the finals.
All right, before we get into where in Northern Nevada is Matt Rafferty, I want to point out a second Gleedle who has joined the chat, Mr. Luke Gleedle. How you doing, Luke? It's good to have you. Thank you for watching the show today and joining in on the conversation. As he put it, another Gleedle has entered the chat. We also have Antonio Gonzalez joining us. How you doing, Antonio? It's I like to say it's great seeing you guys, but it's great hearing from you. I love an active chat. I love having you guys as part of the conversation. We actually have a few comments. Harry's kind of already talking about this match, but we'll hold off. Harry, we're gonna hold off on that just for a moment because I want to figure out where the heck Matt is today. Antonio's bragging about his scarf collection as well. So let's go ahead and jump into where in Northern Nevada is Matthew Rafferty. I'm sure some of you guys in the comments know. I don't remember the exact location of where the TIFOs are made.
Yeah, we'll just call it the secret undisclosed location of TIFO making.
Sure. Okay.
I'm excited about the upcoming home opener. We have a TIFO ready to go, and I was just looking through my photos, and that one was kind of towards the top, and I've been kind of lazy about taking scenic shots, so I'll take something else beautiful. And you can see the shadow of a bunch of previous TIFO, like the King in the North, the Avengers, Los Azules, and yeah, a lot of memories burned into that thing.
Yeah, that TIFO was like the best. I think he was part of like the best TIFO, right? In as far as like a voting competition was concerned, like USL best TIFO of the season, and I'm pretty sure it did fairly well. There were a few more I think that did better, partly because they have bigger support. I think like New Mexico.
I think that it was just that one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one was also very meaningful. There's a very meaningful moment. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's all right because this one, it was gorgeous, and that is the King in the North, as you can see there on your screen, alongside the wonderful and full-bearded Matt Rafferty. I don't know the specific location, but it's definitely in Reno, right?
Actually, no.
Oh, if it's not Reno, then it's got to be in Sparks.
Yes.
Okay. So I know Brad knows exactly where it is. So Brad, you can. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
can
I don't feel like we need to go into.
I'm not gonna
details.
give up the location. I'll take the free point. I can show up there to prove it, but I don't need to.
Okay, that's fair enough. So real quick, I'm gonna run through these some of the comments real quick because a lot of people are talking about their scarves for some reason. We still haven't moved on. Yeah, we still haven't moved on.
Soccer fans love scarves, man.
So, let's see. Antonio kind of bragged about his. Wait till you see my scarf collection. But I think this is the moment where we're kind of gonna put the spotlight on Brad here because our resident San Antonio fan wants to see a San Antonio FC scarf on that wall, Brad.
I told him I would. I have a bunch of USL teams right now.
Look, he said,
I got Orange County.
Wait, where do you?
And
where's Orange County?
I have Orange County. It's kind of hidden. You see this little orange next to the North Carolina scarf on the side?
No.
That's Orange County. It's a.
If you squint just right, and
take
kind
your
of
entire wall down. I want to make sure we see it.
You can see it a little better now.
Yeah, you
all.
can
All I can see is shaky camera. So okay,
Well,
so you're gonna have
and
to.
then I also have Fresno, Beitar, Jerusalem.
That Beitar Jerusalem
supporters groups for. Oh, it is. I love it. Supporters groups for both the Reno teams, some more Reno scarves, women's national teams.
All right, so we need you to get a San Antonio FC scarf. Look, we can't say no to our fans, or at least I can make it so that you can't say no to our fans.
I need to figure out how a camera works again.
Anyway, all right, so yeah, and then Brad responded with all of his scarves. San Antonio on the wall. Antonio says the Ing of the North.
The Ing in the North.
Yes, the Ing of the North. And then, Harry said he'll send you one. But you got to DM him on Twitter.
Slide into
and
his
I
DMs.
respond to that. Antonio, I'll get one once I go there. It is tradition for me. All right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's start talking about this match. Yeah. So
yay, soccer.
Yeah, Reno ended up pulling out this one at 3-1 win on Friday night. I was able to be a fan, and that was a whole lot of fun. So I lost my voice actually.
Attaboy.
Yeah, and so and also Matt, at some point we bumped knuckles. And I didn't realize it after, but I bruised a knuckle on my right hand.
Oh, geez.
No, it made me laugh actually. I'm like, I didn't even notice that, you know. So it was really an exciting time. It was a very worrisome time, in my opinion, for at least half the game, maybe a little bit more, until we had a substitution, and I think that kind of really changed the game. What do you guys think about this match on Friday?
What do you think, Brad? You want to start, or you want me to take it?
Yeah, I'll start it since you don't want to.
No, I'm into it. I'm ready for it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I felt like, like as Harry had mentioned in the comments, that it was a tale of two halves, plus or minus 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Reno put in a good solid 30, 35 minutes, I feel like. Like they actually looked like themselves for that long towards the end of the game. But I want to say the first 30 minutes or so, it was very tense at the watch party. Very tense. A lot of people were yelling at the screen and seemed very frustrated. We have high expectations for this team, especially with as strong of an attacking threat as they are. And Reno was sitting back a little bit. They were doing a lot of back passing, trying to play out of the back, like even from the keeper, like passing it back to Marcinkowski. God, and like at least a dozen times. And I want to say the first 10 minutes, they were constantly on their heels and letting Tacoma come into their half, and it didn't look like they were interested in being there until Tacoma scored. I feel like they did pick it up after that, almost making me feel like Ian was letting them feel each other out a little more, or maybe playing the long con, like, oh, look at how bad we are. And then, like waiting for that explosive moment that never came. But from there, they got a little more serious. They started stringing together some good passes. They actually got some chances on the goal. Coming into the second half, though, completely different. They came out like Ian had just, yelled his face off at them. And they looked like themselves, overlapping runs, great passes, great over-the-shoulder passes. Defense was locking down players. That man-to-man defense was looking pretty good. And, they started racking up goals, and some really pretty ones, too. Like, from start of the build-up to it to the very last finish, just great stuff. And I hope we can get a full 90 minutes like that, coming this weekend.
Yeah. Brad, how about you? What are your thoughts?
So my first thought has to go back to what Matt was talking about, that first 30 minutes. Looked up the stats a little bit afterwards. We had one shot in the first 30 minutes. It was a header by Jiggy. But by shot, I mean shot on target. It was a header by Jiggy, saved by the keeper.
Yeah, that was a good stop.
Yeah. That was it. First 30 minutes, and that came in minute 29. Definitely tale of two halves. We went to halftime kind of not feeling all that down because the last 15 minutes of the first half was actually somewhat of quality. And then the second half came, and it just started, and you kind of knew that the heat was turned up, and some changes were made. They moved Skahan from the back line to the midfield. They were playing more aggressive. They put players that were attacking. The defense kind of was ready and not turning the ball over as much. And then ultimately, yeah, Matt said some beautiful goals that we had, and the game kind of finally went the way we expected it to the point where after it was 3-1, we all thought my prediction was going to be right. That there's no way that wasn't going to have a fourth goal. I was really expecting that fourth goal, but there's clearly one person that stood out this match, and it was the one person that was hyped up more than anything, and that would be Cristiano Francois.
Yeah.
He has a goal. He has a nice assist. The goal was a cleanup off a shot by Herzog, but right place, right time, puts it in. Pretty great. The assist was pretty quality, though, towards Fuentes. So, all together, the first 15 or the first 30 minutes shaky. Other than that, I'd love to see more of that. And I'm just gonna tell you, I was talking to Doug Raftery, the GM, after the game. Don't expect the first 30 minutes of any game to go any differently this year. The team's gonna do a lot of sitting back and doing a lot of feeling up the other team, see how the other team plays, and then make adjustments at halftime.
Yeah.
So expect more games like that first one, at least until the first round robin is done, and then hopefully the game comes out the way we expect it to, where Reno's taking control from the beginning.
And Matt, we had a conversation about that during the match. Once they started scoring a couple goals, do you remember? I looked over at you and I'm like, hey, remember? And you brought it up to me actually, and I said, remember this conversation because we're going to bring it up during the podcast. And I mean, I think Brad like hit the nail right on the head. A whole lot of feeling out, but I know that Matt, you and I also talked about how little bit lacking of chemistry in the first half, and I think that's kind of exactly what Mr. Luke Gleedle is saying right here when he says, there's lacking unity in the first half, no real attacking presence, and I just feel like our midfield could not get the ball where it needed to be. As far as the first half is concerned, I feel like the game changed once our and yes, this is the Sam Gleedle fan show, but I think that the game really changed once Sam came in, and then it changed even more once Brent came in, and I think it's just funny, not funny, haha, funny, interesting that the game really, really changed once those two came in, and I think that. Once you have these leaders like Sam and these leaders like Brent, people, these guys who played with the team all off season, who do have chemistry with all of these players. Once they come in, it completely changes the composure of the game. All of a sudden, you've got Brent with Brent had an assist right off the bat, didn't he?
Not an assist, but
like a second
really
assist.
Good,
okay, sure, yeah.
Really
so impact. He had an impact when he came into the game, and so did Sam. And so I think that I really wish, Luke, you mentioned that, no bias, right? That you want Sam to start. We were expecting that too. I think the very first shock of the night came when we looked at that starting 11. And, a lot of players were not used to, Langsdorff, who was subbed in quite late, I think around the 80th, 85th minute. I think
90th, I think it listed actually.
Yeah, it was way late. So, and these are players that we thought would start the match. And so it's pretty interesting how the match went. And I don't think that it's any surprise about the fact that once these guys came in, the match changed completely. I mean, absolutely in our favor. And it's kind of, you got to think, if these guys started, if you had... even we're not looking for huge changes. Like, even if Sam started and maybe opposite Haji, and then you've got Brent starting, you got to wonder if how different that score would be. I mean, I feel like if Brent was starting, you wouldn't have that one from Tacoma. You'd absolutely have more goals, I think.
Yeah, because that one goal was Reno's defense being on their heels. Possibly not even communicating, because it looked like once the mark was dropped on that through ball, nobody knew what they were doing. There was absolutely no cohesion. Everyone was just kind of left ball watching, and then there was a shot wide open in the 18.
Sure.
Yeah, it was in the first 20 minutes of the season, or 22 minutes or so. I think that's when it was. But, I mean, that was not a good look to start out the season, right. Being the first goal of the season in the entire league.
Well, I think I hate to say it, but if we were playing any other team and we look like that in the first half, I don't know that it would be a pleasant result. I mean, say we still score 3, but if we're playing like Phoenix, they scored 6 goals this week. I don't know that we're looking at a happy ending for that. I think half the entire West would probably pour on some goals. We're lucky it was Tacoma.
So, yeah.
And I
Phoenix
think
would have scored 4.
And that's what I said before the match. Roy and I had a conversation about it, about how, hey, the lineup looks a little sketchy, but at least we're playing Tacoma. And I think I said that to a lot of people on Friday. And thankfully, it worked out that way. And I hope that we do see a change in the lineup. You guys, the viewers, and you two know I'm a big San Jose fan, but I think you also know I'm very critical of this relationship with San Jose. And I think developing these players are great, but what about our own players? You guys pay your hard-earned money to go watch these matches, not to watch San Jose players be developed. You're there to watch these awesome players, Brent Richards. You're there to watch Sam Gleadle and Corey Herzog and Francois. And you're ready to watch these guys go out and put out a performance and really beat down the other team. That's always what it's been about. So I think we're kind of slowly moving back into that conversation about how we're kind of worried about the effect already. I mean, we're one game into the season. We're already worried about the effect that San Jose is going to have on the look of this team. And Brad, what you were saying about talking to Doug about potentially not seeing any changes coming up for a while with the first half lineup, I don't dig it. That I don't like to hear that.
It wasn't the lineup, it's how they played, where they sat back a little bit. Some other things that we learned that we can definitely share, I feel like, are some of the players that are from San Jose are here on a 3-month loan. And I think that that's important to point out that we're going to see a lot of those two players for a bit. And then also, I really liked how the youth played in this game. Calvillo had a really nice assist on that first Jack Scahan goal. Jack Scahan scored his first professional goal.
Yeah.
Um,
Congrats, by the way, on that.
yeah.
And also to Fuentes.
Mm-hmm. Although it was a little lucky, Fuentes scored his first professional goal.
Yeah.
But the team, the youth players that we keep harking on, Calvillo is the first person that I've criticized more than anything. I thought he had a pretty good game. I thought that Lopez had a pretty good game. Scahan, once when he was moved off that back line, I thought he settled down and definitely brought some attack that we lacked in the first half because he was on the right defensive back the whole time. And once when he got moved up, I was just so happy to see, he was getting through. He had a bunch of different chances. Calvillo had a beautiful through ball. Like we didn't realize who it was. And then I looked up the highlights and it's Calvillo and it's like, oh, wow. The one guy I complain about, I feel like more than anybody.
Yeah.
JT played really well in goal. Definitely stopped a couple of chances. Almost another, this one was 15-second goal at the beginning of the game, but he stopped it. Altogether, after the first 30 minutes, I felt every single part of our team stepped up in the way it should have. Minus the turnovers. That's the one thing, I don't mind sitting back for 15, 20 minutes. I do mind the turnovers that we had at the beginning of the game and seeing a little bit of that cohesion hopefully get a little better because, once when you had players like Brent come in, the game started looking a lot better for Reno. Who was that? Oh, and Sam.
I think
once you had those two.
Yeah, I think many of those turnovers were really sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can remember it went from like this, just casually watching to like this really, really quickly. I think I cannot tell you guys how many times I had my hands on my head. And so, that was really sketchy. Let's catch up on some comments real quick. Yeah. So, so I have a comment. We have a comment from Roy, who I think who really pays attention to the flow of the game and who wants to point out the impact of Sam and Brent. They forced Tacoma to slide over to respect their speed and skill, opening up the wing for Cheetah, which you absolutely saw. I mean, Francois was so good. I think I'm going to get this started a little bit early so you guys can get in your comments, but I want to know who the viewers man of the match is. So let's get back to that conversation here in a minute. And then I think it's interesting from Luke saying that apparently Sam thought he was going to start as well. So that's interesting. And let's see. And Antonio commented on the having a consistent presence of the new players from San Jose at practice will help, especially long term. That's kind of what we were talking about there, Brad, where these guys 3-month loan, they have some time to kind of get some chemistry with the team, and we'll see how that goes. I can't imagine that going poorly. Last year and every year so far, San Jose's kind of just sent people the night before. So here's hoping that them sticking around for these 3-month loans at least, help them stick around, get to know the system, get to know the players that they're playing with, and build up some of that chemistry and unity a little bit. And Brad, of course, is bogging down all the comments by responding to all of them, even though we're responding to them now.
Wait, we'll get to him. But
up with it.
On Roy's comment though, like, let me get in here. I feel like I've been kind of hanging back for a second.
To you. Go for it.
All right. So, you guys were talking a bit about how many San Jose players we're getting and the impact they're making. But let's talk a little bit about Roy's comment about that the impact that Sam and Brent made in what I think was actually the prettiest play in the entire game. The one that ended in a Francois goal. It was a Brent over-the-shoulder pass to Sam. Absolutely perfect. Landed right where he needed to be on Sam, making a great run, making a nice little turn, and an inch perfect pass right into the middle of the field for Corey to try to take a shot. Unfortunately, didn't go in, because he worked hard to get there. But Francois was just whipping up the wing, just ready for it.
Yeah.
There was always somebody following up the shots in the second half. And that's what I felt like was lacking in, some of the, the few chances we got in the first half. But that was a pure Reno goal. The entire buildup was our boys. And I think that, our guys have a really good impact, but that doesn't discount what you said, Brad, about Eric Covillo. If looking at FootMob, the distribution, our guys actually did top it. Tony Alfaro and Thomas Janjigian were actually the best as far as passes and pass percentage success. But Eric Covillo is the only non-back that actually was on that list, and he had 89% pass accuracy. He was making it happen, and we are critical of him here, and we are critical. I feel like, maybe unfairly, maybe there's a bias, more critical of San Jose players, but excellent job to Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% agree.
He
had a good game.
Yeah, let's continue with these comments. I'm struggling to catch up here.
Sure, sorry.
No. I was actually just thinking about how we haven't heard from you in a while. So,
thanks.
If you ever want to say anything, chime in, guys. This is your show, right? So, let's. Harry is assuming that T2 is going to be really bad, it looks like, this year. Antonio looks like he thinks that we should wait until game 10 before getting to that conclusion. I think 5's good enough. I don't really think we need to wait that long. And then, Brad, damn it. We will respond to the comments here. They played Phoenix. Yeah, that's a pretty big thing. Of course, you're gonna look bad against Phoenix.
Asterisk, it's one game.
Yeah. So let me find a comment that has to do with our conversation here. Andrew mentioned some information here on Skahan. Drafted by the Earthquakes in January, played for Philadelphia Union's academy team and North Carolina in college, and he had a pretty good shot there to even out the score in the first half. Yeah. Happy to see these young players score for sure. And then Luke put a little bit more behind the behind Sam, unfortunately not starting. So the dude's a starter. He's got to be in that lineup, especially opposite Francois. We really need that speed. It's exactly what I said on the last episode. I want speed on the wings, and he's definitely the missing piece right now, in my opinion. So, any final statements, guys? I feel like we've been doing our fair share of complaining, if you will. But, hey, we came out with a win. For a moment, we were the best team in the USL. What do you guys think? Any final thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it's Tacoma. Yeah, it was a rocky start, but it's still a win. It's the first time we've ever started the season with a win. That's huge. It's a good sign, and let's ride that momentum, boys. Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. Brad?
Although we keep complaining about the San Jose players, this is the first game where, minus that first 30 minutes, I don't think I can complain too much with what we got. Lopez played well. We have on loan both Fuentes and Haji, and I don't think either of them played particularly bad. Fuentes scored. Haji, I didn't really see much out of in his 50-something minutes that he played. But at least that's alleviating that number one complaint we've had for the longest time of we don't know who's coming up most of the time on the day of. There's still going to be those players we don't know. I don't think it's perfect, but it's better than what it was. And then once when you had Brent come on for Kevin Partita, once when you had Sam Gleadle come on, you really saw the threat Reno is going to be. And this is, again, a MLS2 side that has their own unique special stuff. We're kind of in that boat. But it's a win. It's a good win. 3-1. It was convincing. Good convincing 60 minutes. I'm taking it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a win for sure. We are off to our best start to a season ever. So yeah, I'm happy. I've done my fair share of complaining and talking about the match. So I think we're just gonna move on. Let's go ahead and talk about OKC Energy. They are coming off of a loss to the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. 2-1 loss. I have not watched the match yet, but it looked like, as far as the stats are concerned, I mean, OKC had a big advantage as far as possession is concerned, but as far as the rest of the stats go, I mean, they both look pretty similar. Have you guys had a chance to watch any highlights or anything from OKC?
No, it's one of those games that nobody cares about.
Yeah, well, here's the
even
thing.
If we play them.
Even if you did, I mean, what can you possibly learn in one match? I mean, it really is the same with Reno. Like, we still don't know what to expect quite yet. So, we can talk about them a little bit. Although I don't think we're gonna really go anywhere with it. Especially being that the two of us, or three of us rather, haven't seen anything about this team. So why don't we go ahead and predict this thing? Yeah. Let's save all three of us some time. Let's save the viewers and listeners some time. Let's just talk about what we're all really here for. And that's predictions, baby. Let's do this. We got two predictions already coming in. So let me say those. Give you guys a moment to stew in on your picks here. All right. So we got Harry came in just before Luke, so Harry's going to get the advantage here. His pick is Reno 3, OKC Energy 1. He's got Herzog with the brace, and then he's got Francois with 1 goal. Hey, Harry, you picked against Reno last week. I got that message. I actually replied to it, but for some reason it didn't send. Now he's believing. It looks like, guys. Now he's believing.
Oh, then we're gonna lose. He's a jinx.
All right,
so worse than Antonio.
we got a 3-1 win in the favor of Reno for Harry, and then Luke has his prediction with no biases at all in here, guys. If more Reno players play, I say 2-0 win. You guys are never gonna guess who we picked to score. He's got Francois, and he's got the man, our baby Yoda, Sam Gleadle. I gotta ask him if he knows that we often talk to him about him being our baby Yoda. And then we'll have to just go all out and tell Corey that he's our Mandalorian. Or no, Brent's our Mandalorian, I think, and then our grizzled vet. Or is it the other way around? Our grizzled vet is Brent, and then Corey is our Mandalorian. Okay. Real quick before we go to Andrew's prediction, Luke, we had a user comment or a viewer comment a while back asking who is our Mandalorian, who is our grizzled vet, and then who is our baby Yoda. And so we picked Sam Gleadle as our baby Yoda.
Absolutely.
And then Brent Richards as our grizzled vet, and then Corey Herzog as our Mandalorian. Although we did have some weird thing with Brad saying that the youngin of Corey Herzog is our baby Yoda. That was strange.
That's not weird.
I mean, it just came out of that was way out of left field. So
I chose an actual child to be baby Yoda.
Okay,
to be the child.
I mean, that's cool, but not part of the team, my friend. All right, let's go to Andrew's prediction. He's got 3-2 Reno. with Corey also getting the brace, 2 goals. And then he's got Sam Gleadle. Like, look, we're big fans of Sam. I mean, if he starts, he'll score. That's how I see it. Harry, yes, I did. I had the right score wrong side. Yeah, he had look at this. He had Tacoma beating Reno 3-1. That's exactly the kind of response I would expect from that. All right, so
Can you really trust anything he says after that?
I'm looking forward to hearing some of your predictions for the San Antonio FC matches, Harry. Probably gonna have us losing like 10-0. Antonio coming in with a 3-1 win for Reno. He's got Corey, Cheetah, and then an own goal. That's
OKC's top scorers right now are Atiba Harris.
Oh,
and
Antonio,
Mr.
that
Ungle.
was my guess. I was
Attaboy.
going to say,
that's
pulled a mat
fantastic.
and stole it from me.
Last but not least, so far, we got a lot of predictions this today. Right before we even give ours. Thanks, guys. Kerry Gleadle, again, no bias. 4-2 win for Reno. Got Corey with 2, Sam with 1, and then Foster Langsdorff with 1. I love it. Look, nobody here is picking against Reno, and this is why I appreciate all of you. You guys know where your allegiances stand. And we have, I think, more out of everyone picked to score, of course. I think Corey comes up a lot. And then I think Sam. I mean, it looks like people are feeling really, really good about Corey, Francois, and Sam, which I agree with all of this. So it's time. What do we think? Let's go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick predictions. Now we go.
You big schmo.
All right, let's go to Brad. What do you got, Brad?
Okay. So Antonio stole my prediction, but I think it would be absolutely silly not to still go with it. I'm going to say a 3-0 victory. I'm feeling the defense steps up a little bit. My guesses are going to be an own goal. I was going to say an own goal. I'm still going to say with it. It was funny Stevenson scored an own goal in the first game for Oklahoma City, but an own goal. I'm going to say that Corey scores and Cheetah was my pick to score last week, and I was going to choose Cheetah every week until he scored.
Right, you are.
I'm going to say I have to choose a new person. That person is going to be a surprise. It's Haji. Haji's going to score this week. I think he's had a couple weeks to really orient with the team. Haji is going to score this week. And in the corner of my eye, I see I'm not the only one that chose Haji this week. Roy just chose Haji. So Haji's going to score. It's going to be amazing.
All right, for the record, we are on a little bit of a delay, so he sent that in probably right before you started talking about Haji. So.
Oh no, right after. Like literally, it went corner of my eye.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying we're on a delay. So yeah.
He's probably a slow typer, it's okay.
So Roy didn't cheat. Not that. No, he didn't. That it mattered. All right. Speaking of Roy, we'll go ahead and throw out his prediction. So Roy's got a 4-1 win for Reno. Haji, Sam, Cheetah, and an own goal. CJ Cochran.
Mr. Own Goal's popular.
Yeah, he sure is. All right, Matt, who you got?
All right. Speaking of popular players, I'm going to pick a selection of scores that a lot of people have picked, but no one has picked the combination of. So it's going to be a 3. Well, there's too many 3-1s. 3-0. Let's go with 3-0.
All right, cool.
Same.
All right. So, damn it. So it's going to be Corey.
Okay.
Francois and Sammy Gleadle.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
That's weird that nobody's picked that trio.
No. So I'm swooping up to pick that.
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah. Look, I'm not confident enough to go with the own goal. And look, I also want to go for the 3-1. Like I feel like Reno's going to score a lot. But I feel like we're also going to concede one. I'm not 100% confident on our ball retention right now and giving up the ball in really awful locations. So I got to go with something different, right? I mean, I wanted to go 3-1, but it seems like everyone and their mothers are going for a 3-1 win, right? Should I follow Roy on that 4-1 victory? Yeah, we're gonna follow you. I'm gonna cheat, Roy. I'm gonna follow you, but I'm not going to pick your scorers. I'm gonna pick Francois with 1. So okay, I picked that one. I think Corey's gonna net 2. And then I want Sam to score. I want Sam to start, so I'm going to pick him to score. And last but not least, the man. I chose him a million times last year, and he never scored when I picked him, but he always scored when I didn't. Brent Richards. Yeah, I think I'm going to be the only one who picks Brent Richards.
Yeah, I like that curveball. I think that he does, surprise us every now and then with that little goal. So, yeah.
Yeah,
that might be your week.
We'll see what happens. Let's talk about this weather. We kind of did a little bit earlier, and this way we're kind of giving a little bit of a forewarning to those who are going to be there because it's going to be a little chilly. I'm thinking I'm trying to remember off the top of my head about 42 degrees, right? Maybe a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
But we are expecting a storm this weekend. So, and as is tradition in my case, I get sick every single season opener. Guys, there has not been a year that I've covered Reno 1868 FC where I have not gotten sick on the season opener. So I'm really scared. I remember last year, guys, I doped up on vitamin C right before the match, and I still got super sick. So, so we'll see how that goes. The weather, so to answer your question, Harry, it's going to be a little bit chilly. And I think chili works for this team, and I think it always has. So I'd like to pull out a statistic of how many cold matches Reno has won versus how many they've lost. That may be. What's up?
I only remember one cold match, and it was a not so fun showing against Colorado Springs, and I think it was the opener
right.
3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure I got sick.
Oh yeah, that one time I got sick. I remember that.
Yeah, the one of the last 3 or 4 times I've gotten sick. Yeah. So everyone, do me a favor, cross your fingers that I don't get super sick, because that sucks. It's always worth it. That's the crazy part. It's always worth it. Season openers. That's it. We got our predictions, and we got a lot of predictions in today, guys. Thank you. We appreciate
awesome.
it. Yes, we appreciate it. And we also gave ours. So for those who were listening to the podcast or maybe watching this at a later time, I was asked where people can send their predictions, and the answer is anywhere. If you want to drop them in SoundCloud, drop them down here in the comments, whether this is during this live stream right now or not, drop it in YouTube. We'll see it. Also, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Send it to any of the 3 of us, and we'll definitely include it. The prediction game is fun. It seems like people enjoy it since we're always getting predictions. More so this year so far. I think today we got more predictions just in the live show than we have, at all last year. So keep them coming. Let's do this. I am the reigning champion. And I'm sure Matt really wants to get back at me because he looked like he was about to win it, and then I came out of nowhere. Also, Roy came out of nowhere. So yeah, Roy was starting to catch up.
Somebody last week predicted 3-1 in the live stream comments, and I went to go look back at it, and you don't see live stream comments afterwards. So I have taken the time, and I have just copied down everybody who has since today posted. I have your prediction so that it will show up.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. As far as I know, there was no winner last week.
I don't think so.
Right.
We're just gonna say no winner is the test.
Well, yeah, we're gonna say no winner for now. But since Brad thinks that we may have had someone guess 3-1 last week, I'll go ahead and listen to the last week's show just to make sure, because I definitely don't want one of you guys. If one of you guys was right, I'm not going to deny you that win. So
I feel like that's just a very common prediction, 3-1. I mean, how many people this week?
I know. See, that's why it sucks, is because I feel 3-1, but I don't want to be the same as everyone else.
Choose different scorers or split a point.
I mean, look, everyone's picking Sam, everyone's picking Francois, and everyone's picking Corey. Those are the 3 I would have picked. It makes sense. In fact, I still picked those 3.
Only one of those 3 scored last week. The other 2 were rookies rookie and
Look,
teenager.
I want you to look right into the camera. I want you to look right in the camera right now, Brad, and tell people that you don't expect Corey to score.
I am not a wizard. I have no idea who is going to score.
Yeah, but if you're going to... But I didn't hear that a Corey can score or Corey will score. I mean, that...
I predicted Corey to score this week. I'm not a wizard.
All right.
I predicted twice last week. You're right.
So Andrew clarified on the Saturday forecast, high 50, low 32. So in that case, I definitely expect it to be in the 40s for the match. Partly cloudy and windy. Again, we are expecting a storm. So if you guys are going to be there, dress up and don't get sick. That's the main thing. Don't get sick. Snow's not expected until late Saturday night, and this is all according to Andrew. Andrew, thank you for looking this up. So hopefully we get it later. I don't want it snowing during the match.
It's going to be cold regardless.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. So just prepare for that. It's going to be fun, man. Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to whip out my camera. I'm going to wear gloves this time so my hands don't freeze. That's partially why I think I get sick. What else we can talk about, guys? Let me check time. Oh, yeah, I know you got stuff. I know you
always got stuff.
All right.
I got one for you real quick.
Before
please
you say that.
All right.
We are about 51 minutes in, which means we're probably actually about 47-ish in. So, you're on the time limit, Brad, but you can go.
Happy birthday, Kevin Partito.
Hey!
That's literally it. That's the one thing I had to say there.
And I'm closing that tab. But yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, man. We always do that to each other.
Oh, so Harry brought something up I really wanted to talk about.
You can talk about that.
Yeah.
I do have an answer for that, too.
But, Harry, it's interesting that you say not for air because this is totally something I've been wanting to talk about on air. The Nets are awful. 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 And here's the thing, Matt. They're awful for soccer, and they're awful for baseball.
Yeah, but, reactive for fan safety's sake and all that kind of stuff, blah. But, as far as the soccer, when I was in the stands beating on the drum, you have a couple drinks, you kind of look past it, you don't really notice it. It's when I first heard about a net happening, and then I walked into the stadium, I was like, oh, that's not as bad. But it's still not that great. They've been looking into every option they can, and from what I understand, it's not going to be there on Saturday.
Well, yeah, let's hope, right? I mean,
I can give you a definitive answer.
Give us a definitive answer right now.
They will not be there.
All right.
In my conversation with the GM, they will not be there. Okay. They're looking at taking them down for every single soccer game the rest of the year. Although they will still be up on the dugout side, like past the dugouts.
Yeah.
All right.
But for our section and the sideline, it should be down.
Look, I don't want to be insensitive here. I understand the importance of the safety of people who are watching for baseball. You often, when you go and watch baseball games, look, you guys know I'm a fan of, I think, just about every sport under the sun, especially, soccer and baseball and football and hockey. I want these people to be safe. Nobody wants to worry about getting hit by a foul ball or anything like that. You're not always paying attention at a baseball game. You're lying if you say that you are. You're not watching all 100-plus pitches in a baseball game. You're not. So, I'm glad that Greater Nevada Field is taking that into account, and I'm glad, Brad, that they are removing them for soccer. It's just not the right place for that netting, I think. So that's great. And I think I can tough it out for baseball. I mean, I don't like them. I think I'd rather take the chance of getting hit in the face and enjoy the game than try to watch through netting. But
that's where pro baseball's going.
What's that?
That's where pro baseball's going.
It is exactly where it's going. There's no stopping that. So hopefully we just stop the pitch clocks, which unfortunately I think that's just the way it's going to. Pitching's my favorite position in baseball. Oh, and Carrie's making me sad with the Z's. Oh
Baseball.
man, I love baseball. I do. In fact, I'm wearing a
Grass growing
Nevada
simulator?
baseball shirt right now.
Grass growing simulator.
But that's a good thing, John, because support your local college and
Mhm.
professional.
Oh,
And
for sure. Yeah, as an alum, I still have to support them. It's not cool, man, if I don't. But I had this shirt for a really long time. I love baseball, always have, and probably always will. Yeah, and Kerry brought up an interesting point, something I didn't think about. Players can't really interact with the fans after the game. I didn't even think about that part. And the guys will generally go to you guys in the Battleborn Brigade and sign some stuff and shake hands and take pictures with everybody. I didn't even think about that part. So yeah, let's all hope that net's gone.
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like it's a better fan experience overall.
Sure. And how will you guys like light the smoke bombs and stuff? Like, how does that work? Because aren't the buckets outside on the warning track?
Yeah,
They
that's
are,
where
but
the
there's
capo
gates.
stand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just pass them through the netting. They're small.
Oh, the netting's big enough for it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, still, that sounds super, like, inconvenient.
A little bit. But I mean, that I noticed Harry was saying didn't want to interrupt the show. That's a great question to ask about with the nets because that's happened in a lot of stadiums. El Paso's got a net up,
Yeah.
and it kind of shocked a lot of people, and some people wanted answers. And I think letting people know that the information that we know is a good thing. The word might spread and draw more people out who didn't really like the net.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, baseball, cool, soccer, nah. Roy, I'm going to confirm the fact that I read your comment, but I'm probably not going to repeat it for that very specific wording there. Yeah, Carrie's just breaking my heart here. Does your smoke get 800 degrees like the Rowdies?
Can confirm my hands have been burned off multiple times. These are like in Empire where Luke gets his like really realistic like replacements. Yeah. 800 degrees every time.
That's awesome. All right, let me do another time check. Don't want going too long. I
Sure.
think, Matt, you got time to throw out one thing.
One thing,
And then we got random comments.
It was opening weekend.
Real quick.
There's so many things.
Real quick, you get to pick one, and I can talk to the viewers real quick. And that is, if you guys have anything random you want to add to this conversation, completely random, has nothing to do with anything, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to join our random comments conversation. And Harry, you owe us one, by the way. I don't remember what episode, but it was a while back. So, all right, Matt, what's going on? You get one.
Okay. So can I have one that we actually talk about and then rattle off a crap ton of silly things?
Yes.
Nah, no.
Yes.
Okay.
You just gotta be fast.
So this one's actually pertinent to Reno. This is good stuff. The USL Team of the Week for Week 1.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
First professional match for Francois with Reno, and his very first outing, he got on the Team of the Week.
Yes.
Not even the bench. We're talking first team. So congratulations
and
to the
much deserved. Much deserved.
Next, we have FootMob. Is a very popular soccer app. A lot of good stats, and they started doing a Team of the Week for USL.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcos Lopez, our starting left back, with an 8.2 rating on the game, ended up on the team. We had some other players that got higher. We had 8.7s, 8.8s, but they were in positions that kind of got them, pushed out by other midfielders or forwards. But congratulations to both of them. That's great to really get their names up there just right away. Very happy about that.
I think last year we had 14 individual or 13 individual players on Team of the Week. So let's get
we're off to a good
here.
start as far as Team of the Week's concerned. I'm trying to think of the order of this. I'm gonna read random comments first, and then we can come up with ours. So I think so. Andrew points out that daylight saving is the worst, and I 100% agree. I work at 4 a.m, and I lost an hour of sleep. So the government takes my money, and does all of these things, and then on top of that, they take away an hour of my day. Why? I'm not a
So I
farmer.
can give it back to you after tax
No,
season.
yeah. Don't you say that, Brad. All right, and then Harry, he has a 14-hour drive. What is your favorite driving song? My answer is it depends. You always, for a long drive, you always can't go wrong with some AC/DC. I listen to albums for long drives. Then I'll just switch. I'll give you what I've been listening to lately. Although, as I pointed out to a fellow podcast, I listen to a lot of heavy stuff, guys. So you're probably not going to like it, but I'm going to recommend it anyway. I've been listening to an album from 2007 by the Black Dahlia Murder called Nocturnal. So if you're into some heavy stuff, Harry, and you wanna really push that pedal down into the ground, man, check that album out. It's wonderful. What about you guys? Real quick.
I would say listen to podcasts.
Yeah, listen to 1868 Weekly.
Pull
there you
up,
go.
Yeah, pull up a bunch of USL podcasts. I know you already listened to a bunch, Harry. What's a couple more? USL show, Fairweather Pod, Orange and Black. So many good ones out there.
Yeah, but mostly 1868 Weekly.
Oh, yeah.
He's already listening to this one, though.
What about you, Matt?
All right. Yeah, I do a lot of spoken word for long drives, a lot of stand-up. The Rad Radio, local, Reno, Sacramento radio show. And then there's also, podcast. You got Omnibus and Wait, Don't Tell Me, stuff that's actually kind of interactive. And, and then between that, I listen to just about everything, like any genre. If it gets me moving, if it makes me think, I like it.
Awesome. Yeah, check all that stuff out, Harry. Hopefully that helps your drive. I gave you that warning about Black Dahlia Murder, though. I'm not kidding when I say they're heavy. All right, and then Carrie, I was really hoping. I write about the coronavirus every single day, numerous stories every day. And so I was really hoping we were going to be able to avoid it, but I guess with the situation of how it is impacting sports,
you can't.
Yeah, it's got to pop up. So Manchester City versus Arsenal has been canceled, and this is from Kerry again, because of the coronavirus, as the Olympiacos owner was exposed to it before Arsenal played them midweek. Coronavirus is having a huge impact, especially for Bay Area sports. The Earthquakes will not be playing in front of some crowds, the same as San Jose Sharks, and so California is getting in a very heavy lockdown, heavy quarantine state. Luckily, we here in Northern Nevada only have 2 cases. I think there are 2 more cases down south, but the handling of it, I think, as far as Nevada is concerned, has been fairly good. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, they're both at their house on self-quarantine.
Right. And actually, the story gets a little bit more sketchy because I think we actually have more cases than that because of people just got off the Queen Princess cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a few more cases now who are also self-quarantined. So, look, since we're going to talk about this, I really didn't want to talk about this because I write about it every single day. Keep clean. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face a whole lot. I've actually been noticing that I touch my face a lot because of my wonderful beard. I like stroking it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And it's very important to wash your hands. And as much as antibacterial soap is cool, it won't work because this is a virus. So, just be aware of that. Use real soap. Wash your hands and don't touch other people's faces either. All right, so we've got Antonio points out no more Serie A for me. The season's probably over. I think so as well. Ace of Spades by Motorhead and Roads to Madness, both solid CDs. Roy got some good
Radar
there.
Love, yeah. Good stuff, Andrew.
Daylight Savings sucks. Radar Love. Don't have daylight savings in Arizona. You are lucky. Daylight saving is the worst. Another bogged down comment from Brad. Yes, on the stand-up. Anything from John Mulaney? Is that how it's pronounced?
Mulaney, yeah.
Patton Oswalt. 2 of my favorite. You're bogging down the comments. What is this?
I get one.
IFTV.
I'm assuming that's Italian football TV.
Yeah. It is a recommendation from Antonio.
What about the football Italiano?
I'm gonna stay away from that comment, Roy. Though I actually would agree with it. Menlo College in the Bay Area, and the high
That's
school
from
50
Luke.
feet from my school closed, and mine hasn't. That's so interesting. Like all this quarantine stuff is so interesting. Yeah, Harry throws in a comment and tells us to watch our damn hands, and I agree. I think that's a great way to rattle off our random comments real quick, and then let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, Brad, random comment.
Well, mine was also going to be about that lovely thing, but I feel like we've talked it to the ground.
Yes, no more.
Um,
Please.
What lovely thing.
I know. I'm not going to bring it up. So now I feel like I'm put on the spot.
But I'm worried because I'm worried that I'm going to bring up that lovely thing.
The lovely thing is coronavirus. End of story. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You didn't realize that was what I was
It would
talking
no
about?
that was
all
not
right,
what it was gonna
random
be.
comment. We're out of time.
Man, well, now I feel like I don't have anything. Actually, no, I do have one. It's more news than random comment, but 2 new Reno players were signed. Kind of knew about them both from the Meet the Team event. Alex Burkholz and Jared Timmer.
Right.
That was literally a week ago. I don't feel like we've talked about it last week.
I don't think we did actually.
But you know, both good signings. Alex played in the last preseason game. And we talked about him a little bit. Hope to see him play a little bit more because I thought he played decently well when he got subbed in.
All right, Matt, random comment.
Random comment. Somebody was kind enough to take their time and make alternate color logos for the rivalry teams. And check out this atrocity. This is obviously just for the people on YouTube and not audio, so it actually makes Vegas's crest look okay. Ours looks like neon vomit.
I mean,
I hate it.
Yeah. And I find it really funny. If you scroll up, you see that other team on my wall there.
Yeah, no one cares. Well, this is not a show about that other team, damn it.
It's these guys, not these guys. These guys.
And the team we play next week or this weekend is below us.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, they're all awful, but
all right,
ours.
Yeah, basically
just
our
makes me
colors
cry.
are really good on theirs, but their colors are not really good on ours.
Yes.
Although I always like the look of black in the Reno logo.
Yeah, but I don't like the pink and neon.
Yeah, no.
Just black and white is good.
Yeah, I'll take black and white. All right, guys. My random comment is another traffic-related thing. I'm the traffic guy, so I often have a little bit of a microscope on traffic. In Nevada, last year we had 8 road fatalities. This year we have 48. So, guys, that is 40 more in the same time span. So, guys, please drive safe out there, watch the road, and then, of course, when you're crossing the street, be sure to cross at opportune times. Do not expect cars to stop for you when you're crossing. And be safe out there. That is a really awful statistic. And I'm talking all of the state of Nevada, but a majority of those being right up here in Washoe County, and then, of course, unsurprisingly, down in Clark as well. So drive safe out there if you're walking out and about. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Nevada, it doesn't matter if you're in Arizona or Texas or wherever. Just walk safe and drive safe out there. And that's all I got for you guys today. And I'm going to do the social media real quick. Follow Brad Polanski at Pal in the Sky on Reddit and Twitter. Follow Matt at Raf Out Loud everywhere, but mostly Twitter and Reddit.
The Reddits.
Follow me. Just look up John Macaluso. It's a pretty unique name on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm a pretty friendly guy. I expect most of everyone, of course, unless you're one of those single ladies who's looking for a good time, aka spam. And then, of course, guys, follow 1868 Weekly on YouTube. Follow 1868 Weekly on Twitter and on Facebook. And then, hit that subscribe button right here on YouTube. Luke did. So shout out to Luke. Thank you for doing that, Luke. You guys get notifications for when we go live. Super, super handy. Let's get out of here, Brad. What is that thing that we say at the end of every episode?
Yeah, so as always, guys, seriously, this episode, so far, we have a lot of people who predicted this game. Thanks a lot of you guys for joining us tonight.
Huge thank you.
We have a lot of fun doing this. It's a lot of fun talking with you guys about this sport we care so much about, and this team that we care even more about. As always, in Ian we trust.
Yes.
And
Vamos
Vamos
Azules! We will see all of you guys on Saturday.
Bye, everybody.